It's Saturday morning in the fabulous Florida Keys. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty. The windy days are back today. It's going to be windy all day long. I just came in from my early morning walk along the beach and that wind was really blowing off the ocean. But a windy day will be a good day today. Today is Fantasy Fest Saturday and the famous Fantasy Fest Parade, probably the most watched event of all the events of all of Fantasy Fest is tonight. There'll be more people on Duval Street than there are on any other given night all year long. Fantasy Fest has a bunch of events all week long. They even have some going on tomorrow. But the parade is definitely the grand finale. The parade is what everyone comes to see. It starts at 7 p.m., but if you want to have any chance of getting a good standing place or a good seat, definitely I would get there around 4 or 5. A lot of the restaurants along Duval Street that have upstairs seating are selling their tables off, but they're definitely pricey. If you're not here in Key West, you can see the parade live on Sloppy Joe's live webcam. There's another cam, I believe it's just called Live Duval Street Cam. Rick's and Dirty Harry's. Dirty is spelled D-U-R-D-Y, Harry's. They have a cam, and the Wicker Guest House also has a webcam that's going to be showing the parade. It's a lot of fun. It's a good event. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth going down for. It's one of the few Fantasy Fest events that I'll actually go to. Normally, I try to plan my vacation around being out of town for Fantasy Fest. I've been in Key West 33 years. I've been to Fantasy Fest half a dozen times. I've already seen it. But the parade and the headdress ball are the two I really like to go to. I also like to go to the pet masquerade. But enough about Fantasy Fest. This is a real estate video after all, and this is my morning market MLS update video I do every day right about this same time. I report all the new listings in Key West and the lower keys that have come on the market in the last 24 hours. If you watch this video every day, you'll be ahead of most buyers. You'll know about every new listing from Big Pine Key down to Key West the same day the realtors know about them. I find a lot of buyers will wait for a home to come on to Trulia or Realtor.com or Zillow or one of those websites to put the listings online. A problem they face there is by the time a lot of those sites have a home live online, it's been on the multiple listing service a couple days and all the good deals are already under contract. If you watch my video and you see something you like, call me immediately. I'll make an appointment for us to go see the home, or if you're not here in town, I'll go see it on your behalf. We can do a FaceTime walkthrough video or video chat. If you like what you see, we can write up an offer and have you under contract before most buyers ever even knew the home was available for sale. You can also get a much more detailed description of these listings, including photographs, if you follow my blog, keywestinvesting.com. I update that every day from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. There's a lot more details in the houses, a lot more information, any unique features the house might have, and things like projected room uses, room dimensions, photos of the inside of the home, photos of the outside of the home, a little bit about the neighborhood. If there happens to be a pool or if it happens to be oceanfront or waterfront at all, there'll be photos of the water view, photos of the boat dockage, photos of the pool. It's just a lot more information than I can cram into a couple-minute quick YouTube video. Again, that web address is keywestinvesting.com, and it's updated every day from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. If you like this video and you want to see more on what's being listed every day at what price in the Florida Keys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. As long as you're subscribing, please click that thumbs up like symbol down below as well. We have 4 new listings to go over today, but before I tell you about the new listings, the state of Florida's legal department butts in and makes me cover the legal boring stuff. The information I'm about to give you comes directly from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. I'm not accepting any responsibility for any of these listings. I'm not claiming any of these listings to be my own listing, and I'm not accepting any responsibility if there's any inaccuracies in the information I give you. I'm simply reading it to you right from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. The first one we have is a condo in a neighborhood called The Meadows in Key West on Newton Street. I really like The Meadows a lot. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods in Key West. It's close enough to downtown and Duval Street that you can walk or easily take a bicycle. A lot of people live in Key West. The bicycle's their main source of transportation. It's much easier to park downtown. But yet you're still far enough away from downtown that you won't have the tourists sightseeing, driving around your yard, neighborhood, looking in your yard. You don't have to fight for parking in front of your house. You don't wake up to beer cans in your front yard or drunks peeing in your bushes. This is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 427 square foot condo. It's being offered at $715,000, which is a very good price for the Meadows. My only concern with this one is the houses like this that were turned into condos, they were back in the day, the large houses when the families had 8, 9, and 10 kids. And a developer bought the house and condoed it out into 4 or 5 different units. When you have a condo complex with only a few units in it, you definitely want to take a good look at the financials while you're still in your due diligence inspection period. Particularly make sure you look at the reserves when you're checking out the financials. Make sure they have a large amount of money in reserves. That way, if any upcoming maintenance comes on, the building needs a new roof, it needs to be resided, anything like that, make sure you have enough money in reserves to pay for it. Otherwise, every owner gets an assessment. If you have a condo complex with a couple hundred units in it, the assessments aren't that large. But if it's only 4 or 5 people putting up the bill to reside the house or put on a new roof, it can be a pretty costly assessment. So definitely check out the condo financials and absolutely the reserves. Assuming they're okay, this is a great price and an excellent neighborhood. It's worth taking a look at. Then in Key West's Old Town neighborhood on Olivia Street, this house is just about 3 blocks off Duval Street. Actually, less than that. It's probably 2 blocks off Duval Street. We have a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 1,828 square foot house. This house is the eyebrow architecture style. The eyebrow houses are very popular in the old architecture in the Keys, and they're still very popular over in the Bahamas if you go to some of the islands other than the tourist trap ones like Nassau or Freeport, if you go to some of the smaller islands. The reason they call them eyebrow houses is the top eaves of the roof stick out a lot further than the eaves on a regular house like you're normally used to seeing. The eaves will stick out about a foot and a half. These will stick out 5 or 6 feet, and the purpose of that is to shade the windows on the top floor, keeping the houses cool. Back when these houses were built, there was no air conditioning, and that's why they're so popular in the Bahamas and a lot of the Caribbean. A lot of those areas still don't have any air conditioning. Now, it's a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 1,828 square foot house, which is very large by Old Town standards, especially 2 blocks off Duval Street. It's completely fenced, and it has off-street parking, which is very important when you're that close to Duval Street. Parking can be really tough. This one's being offered at $3,625,000, which is a very good price for a house that size, that close to Duval Street. Then we go up to Saddle Bunch Key, which is about 12 to 15 minutes out of Key West driving. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 932 square foot open water house. This house is right facing west, right on the open water. You get a great Florida Keys sunset from the backyard every night. This part of Saddle Bunch Key, I was going to say all of Saddle Bunch, but some of Saddle Bunch isn't. This particular part of Saddle Bunch Key was originally all mobile homes. A lot of them still are the rundown mobile homes from the 60s and the 70s. A lot of them, like this house here, people came in and bought the mobile home out and replaced it with a house. You have a nice waterfront house, but the neighborhood's a little bit rough in my opinion. You'll have a brand new house, a 5-year-old house next to a 1970s mobile home, next to an abandoned mobile home. You'll always hear me say the 3 words of real estate: location, location, location. Then I'll elaborate on it saying you're better off having the cheapest house in the millionaire's neighborhood than having the most expensive house in the trailer park. This is definitely a case of having one of the nicest houses in the entire trailer park, and it's being offered at $1,200,000, which I personally feel is overpriced, but that's just my opinion. Then we go to Cudjoe Key on Blackbeard Lane. Blackbeard Lane's in a subdivision called Cutthroat Harbor Estates. Cutthroat Drive is the main road going in. Blackbeard is one of the ones on the left of Cutthroat, which is the better boat, and you could easily get a 4-foot draft boat in there. You get a 35-foot boat in there with no problem. And you have no bridges to go under. It's just one canal, a straight shot. You're out in the open bay, and within 2 or 3 minutes, you'll be in the open bay. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,195 square foot house. The dock on this one's a little small. Normally, the dock goes the whole length of the water frontage of the house, and this one's a 6,188 square foot lot, which means it's got a little over 61 feet of waterfront, and the dock is only 40 feet on this one. But more than likely, you're not going to have a 40-foot or bigger boat, so it's kind of a moot point, but I'd like to point that out because I happen to notice it. It's being offered at $1,149,000, which is a very good price for a house with deep water boating on Cudjoe Key. Definitely you want to take a look at this one if you like Cudjoe. And that's all we have for today. If you want to take a look at any of these homes or any home anywhere in the Florida Keys, give me a call at 305-731-0501. And don't forget to check out my blog, keywestinvesting.com. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty.